you ever found yourself stuck in a cycle of unhealthy habits, wondering how to break free? Whether it's late night snacking or procrastination or skipping workouts, we all have habits that don't serve us anymore. Unhealthy habits form as a way to cope with stress, with boredom, or even social influences, or even family or cultural pressure. But the good news is, change is possible. Another good news, change can be sustained. Today, we're exploring effective strategies to help you break free from those unhealthy habits and then embrace a healthier lifestyle. So in this video, we'll discuss why habits form, how to identify unhealthy patterns, and practical tips to help you make lasting changes. So let's get started. So now first, let's understand what are habits. Habits are just simply behaviors. Your behaviors that you keep repeating regularly, often without thinking. They form through a cycle of cue, routine, and reward. So three things: cue, routine, and reward. Problem with unhealthy habits, we don't get the reward at the end anymore. We get penalized, we get punished in the form of diseases, right? But understand that that's the cycle of a habit. This cycle can help us identify unhealthy habits. I want you to keep that in mind, those three things. I remember when I realized I had a habit of mindlessly snacking while watching TV. It was such a routine that I didn't even notice it anymore. But that's when I knew I had to make a change, because not only did I have a habit of sitting while watching TV, that sedentary lifestyle, I've also tied up another bad habit with it, which is snacking endlessly. And then I wondered why I put on so much weight. Unhealthy habits form as a way to cope with stress, with boredom, or even social influences, or even family or cultural pressure. Recognizing these triggers or cues is the first step to breaking free. Say that again. Recognizing your triggers or cues is your first step to breaking free. So what is or are your triggers? You have to know that. You have to know what turns on your unhealthy habits. For me, it's work stress and the busyness of life. Not business, but busyness. Busy all the time. But I decided I'm not going to make them my excuses for my bad habits. I had to be accountable, acknowledge these triggers, and address those triggers from the root cause. Now, how can you identify unhealthy habits? I think you already have in mind what habits are unhealthy for you. But these are the common unhealthy habits to watch for: overeating or unhealthy eating patterns, sedentary lifestyle, excessive screen time, procrastination or avoidance behaviors, poor sleep hygiene, many more. So, write down what are your habits that no longer serve you. My tips for breaking free is are the following. Number one, self-reflection. So keep a journal. Track your daily habits for a week. These can help you identify patterns and triggers that lead to unhealthy choices. And then once you identify those habits, rate them. Rate on a scale of 0 to 10. Rate how each habit impacts your life. These can help prioritize which habits to tackle first by rating them. So, what unhealthy habits have you noticed in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and that will help us each other, kind of see where we're at with the commonality of our bad habits. Next I want to talk about is setting goals for change. What's the importance of setting goals? Setting clear, achievable goals is crucial for breaking unhealthy habits. It gives you direction and motivation. And my tip for effective goal setting is this: use the SMART framework. SMART. S for specific goal, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bound. For example, instead of saying, I want to eat healthier, try saying, I will eat at least one serving of vegetables at each meal for the next month. That's specific, right? That's measurable. That's very relevant. And you have a timeline. 1 month. Use the SMART. Okay? SMART. Next is start small. Begin with one habit at a time. Don't feel like you're a Wonder Woman or a Superman. Start with one habit to change. Trying to change too much at once can lead to overwhelm. Okay? You want also to remember, you need to train yourself to celebrate small wins. Acknowledge your progress, no matter how small. This reinforces positive behavior and keeps you motivated. You should be your number one fan. Now, did you know that research shows it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit? That's more than 2 months. So be patient with yourself, okay? Now, how do we develop strategies? What are the strategies for change? These are more on the technical side. Create a plan. Having a plan in place makes it easier to implement change. Think about what strategies work best for you. Okay? Another, as I've mentioned, identify triggers. That's very important. That's your first step. Once you know your unhealthy habits, don't stop there. Identify the triggers, the cues that lead to the bad habits. For example, if stress leads to snacking, then find alternative coping mechanism like going for a walk or practicing deep breathing or playing some musical instruments, singing, dancing, calling a friend instead of eating to cope with stress. Next is you replace unhealthy habits. Instead of just trying to eliminate an unhealthy habit, replace it with a healthier one. For instance, if you're trying to reduce your screen time, consider reading or engaging in a new hobby instead, right? You got to replace the old one with a new one. And you also cannot underestimate support. Enlist support. Share your goals with friends or family. Having a support system can provide accountability and encouragement. And I tell you, when I decided to, cut back on my evening snacking, I made sure that I am reasonably satisfied with my dinner. Not only did it help curb my cravings at night, but I also found it very relaxing and empowering that I can actually control my urges to snack by simply adjusting my dinner. And it worked. Last but not the least, stay committed and motivated. How? Breaking free from unhealthy habits can be challenging, but staying committed is the key. So my tips for staying committed: visual reminders. Don't underestimate that. Create a vision board or write affirmations that inspire you. Place them where you can see them daily. I am a big quote person thing. Use apps or journals to monitor your progress. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating. And again, it's one way to celebrate small wins, right? Remember, change takes time and setbacks are part of the process. So be kind to yourself and keep pushing forward with patience. A lot of patience. So what motivates you to stay on track with your goals? Share your strategies in the comments. Would love to read them. And I'm sure many people can also learn from what you are planning to do to break free of your bad habits. So what did we just learn today, my friends? That breaking free from unhealthy habits involve understanding why they are formed, identifying the triggers, setting achievable goals, and developing effective strategies. Remember to stay committed and celebrate your progress along the way, no matter how small those wins are. Let me leave you with my final question. What's one unhealthy habit you're ready to tackle? Just one. Let's support each other in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more tips on living a healthier life. Share this video with friends who might be on their journey to breaking unhealthy habits. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, breaking free from unhealthy habits is a journey. Embrace the process and be proud of every step you take. Until next time, this is Dr. Adelita, Lifestyle Changer MD. Bye for now.